Hello everybody, welcome to a tutorial. In this corner right here by our sewing machine, our thread stands and the file cabinet is a roll of fabric called muslin. And this is a fabric that we use as tester pieces. We use it for all kinds of things if we want to practice first before we actually sew and make the thing. So you guys are going to use this. It is huge and giant, and it's on a big roll, obviously. So you guys are going to cut your own fabric. The way you do that is you're going to hold the top of it like this and pull out a little bit. Be careful it doesn't fall. It's very heavy. You're going to get your tape measure, and from the edge of the fabric on the inches side, not the centimeters, but on the inches, you're going to measure to 15. Once you get to 15, you are going to take a pair of sewing scissors, move your tape measure out of the way, and you're going to give the fabric a little cut like this. Just a little bit of a split right here. And then what you're going to do is take both sides of the fabric from that slit and you're going to tear it. And you're going to go all the way down. And now you have a panel that's 15 inches wide. The next thing you're going to do is take your tape measure again, and you are going to measure over 5 inches, and you're going to give it a little cut. And then you're also going to measure over 10 inches and give it a little cut. And then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to take both sides and you're going to slit it all the way down like this. There's one panel. Two panels and 3 panels. Altogether, you have 3 5-inch panels. To make the pieces you need for your sample, the next thing you're going to do is line these all up. You might have to straighten up the edges a little bit. And this is going to be kind of a challenge because we all share our tables, but you're going to line these up, lay it out on the table like this. Let me move the camera so you can see. And starting, I've got all 3 of my layers here. Starting right here at the end, I'm going to take my tape measure, and at the top, I'm going to start measuring by 5s. Now, I'm going to use one of my art pencils because this is a sample, so I don't care too much. So I'm going to go by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and so on. And then I'm going to come down to the bottom and I'm going to mark those same measurements. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I think I'm going to stop there for a second so I can cut it, and that'll make it easier. Now, if you want, you can get a ruler to put a line here, but our scissors reach all the way across. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to cut at this line, and I'm going to finish at the other line. And I'm going to do that for each section. So what this does is this gives me a stack of 3 5-inch by 5-inch squares. And after you've cut them all, you're just going to pile them together like this. These are all your test samples, and you are making those squares. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this one up by lining up my panels. And I'm going to place my tape measure at the top. And I'm going to start counting again. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Now, I don't have enough to make 40. I only have 4 inches, so that's not going to be a whole square. That's okay if that's what happens to you. I'm going to move it down here at the bottom. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and I cannot make that last section. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut these and add them to my stack. Here's my last one. Now you can see my last panel here is a little bit smaller. This is the one that's only 4 inches. I'm not going to waste this fabric. I might be able to use it for some kind of a sample sometime. So what I'm going to do is just put it at the bottom of all of my squares, because we don't want to throw fabric away unless we absolutely have to. You can go through and kind of pull out your little fibers. And this stack of squares is what you're going to need for the next step. I will see you in a few minutes when you go look at those videos. Bye.